Hello. Hello. Happy Thursday. I did not do Wellness Wednesday yesterday because we were running around Southern California. It is technically my boys' spring break. So both of my boys, James and Luke, or James technically is on spring break. Luke has preschool today, and my husband is on spring break. So I'm hopping on here today for Wellness Wednesday on Thursday. And I wanted to talk about your nervous system and weight loss. And so I am Dr. Patty Ann Ford, and every week I hop on here and do a brief little education, questions to consider, and then I share it over on my business page, Imagine Wellness. So I have a practice where I am a doctor of nutrition and preventive care, and I have the ability to see you based on your insurance and medical nutrition therapy. And I also have a side of my practice where I step into your world as a coach, and we look at how your habits of thinking are affecting specifically your health patterns. And I've also started to work with entrepreneurs and doctors and uh, people who feel they're in a rut and they can't get out of it and they don't know how. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so our habits of thinking definitely affect your behaviors. So I have the ability to scientifically measure your habits of thinking and pinpoint where you can focus or where you can look at your thoughts, how they affect your behavior, how they affect your heart, how they affect your gut, and then we hopefully move forward. And so some people would call that coaching. Today I want to talk about nervous system. Hi, John. Hi, I'm here and all my decked out. I'm in sweatpants. I just came from a chiropractic appointment. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen a local chiropractor, if you're local, I have a fabulous resource. Dr. Dale and Dr. Archie, those are their first names, of Active Life Chiropractic Care, are phenomenal, and they treat the spine and the nervous system with such care. I would highly recommend them. Okay, the nervous system is composed of your brain and your spinal cord, and you could divide it into two parts, your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. So this is how they function or how they react. So your sympathetic nervous system, I'm in a car, is like the gas pedal. It turns everything on. And sometimes people refer to that as fight or flight, where heart rate goes up, blood pressure goes up, breathe rate goes up. And we can react to things in our life with, okay, I'm going to fight this off. I'm going to throw a punch. I'm going to be mad at somebody, which madness can also look different, but you typically are trying to protect yourself. So I'm going to fight something off. I'm going to run away, or I'm going to freeze and fawn, like just kind of play dead. So your nervous system can react that way. It can react that way to an actual threat. I'm sitting in the car, so if someone comes and scares me, I'm gonna go, "What?" I'm gonna scream, and I'm gonna be scared. I'm gonna try to protect myself. Animals do this in such a cool way where they will run away or hide or camouflage. Humans can do it in such a way where we don't even realize it. Okay, so that's fight or flight. In regards to health, we sometimes will put up a front that we're doing okay, but inside there's fight or flight. We want to hide, we want to isolate, and this can happen emotionally, especially with your health. So you go to the doctor, sometimes they call it white coat syndrome, and you're really scared. Your heart rate goes up, you're nervous, and you feel like there's a threat. I feel this way sometimes when I get my blood drawn. I can tell my adrenaline is going because I'm scared. I don't really like needles. I don't like getting blood drawn, and I have to actively tell myself, it's fine. I'll be fine. I've done this a million times before, and, just kind of work through it. But I'm still scared. different things can trigger your fight or flight. If you have had trauma, this can jack up, for lack of better terms, how you experience everyday activities because you have been threatened and now you might not feel safe, even in safe situations. So on the opposite side, we have the parasympathetic, and this has been coined or termed rest or digest. So this is when you're in a relaxed state. Maybe you can take a nap. Some signs that that's being turning on is you're yawning. You can just kind of close your eyes and you're in a very relaxed state. This is primarily where you are digesting really, really well. So digestion is happening. Things are slowed down. You can just feel your shoulders drop. So those are the breaks, if you will, that slows things down. So ideally, in a typical day, in order to grow and improve, you have eustress. Eustress is positive stress, where you're challenged, you meet the challenge, and you calm down. You regulate. Distress is when you have this stress and it's causing negative impacts. Long-term distress and you're not able to regulate or calm down, this distress can lead to chronic stress, which can lead to chronic disease or the diagnosis of certain symptoms. But sometimes you don't really get a diagnosis, you just have this chronic stress that goes undiagnosed, that goes mismanaged, that can lead to long-term emotional, mental, psychological, physical things. And that has happened in the last 3 years exponentially. In the last 3 years to date, we have seen something that we haven't seen in a really, really, really long time, if ever, ever. We were never connected like we were and been shut down. So we're seeing the effects of chronic mental, emotional, and psychological distress because people were in a state of fear. We were in a state of panic, and how this is affecting weight loss. Weight loss, scientifically, you are wanting to use the body energetically more than the intake. And so it's not as simple as energy in, energy out. It can be linked to that, but think how much energy is used when you're in a state of stress. So much. And if there's never a rest component, there can be more energy used, more adrenaline, more all of these things where the body has never ever gets a chance to rest. And in that state, it's like this constant burning of energy, but there's never any muscle growth. So muscle is used up. And then the body thinks, okay, maybe I'm not going to get enough, so it can slow the metabolic fueling down. But on the flip side, if in your state of fear and pain and stress, and one thing that helps to calm down is food intake, now we're never in this ideal state of digestion, which means you also can't sense your hunger cues, which means you may or may not be indulging in more food intake than what's required. Environmentally, we have access to foods that are more energy dense and nutrient poor, meaning there's not as much nutrients in our foods than it used to be. If you think about if I were to be hungry at 1 a.m., besides my house, where could I go get food? I could list 10, 15 food establishments to go to. We are in an environment that pushes us to eat more and less quality foods. Anyway, for your nervous system and for weight loss, in order to weight manage appropriately, you're going to want to balance and heal this balance of your nervous system. You're going to want to identify, am I in a state of fight or flight? Am I in a state of relaxation? And how do I know? And you can't do that by yourself. I said at the very beginning, you don't know what you don't know. You can't identify what you have no insight to. You need someone else to point it out to you. I am a doctor, I'm a dietitian, but I can't be, and a coach, I can't be my own coach. I literally can't listen to myself. I mean, I can, and I can give myself space, but if I can't see something, I need someone else to point it out to me. It would be foolish for me to think I can treat myself. I literally can't. So I require coaching or therapy or whatever in order for me to be balanced. For you to go through, if you're struggling with weight management, if you're struggling with, gosh, I'm meant for more. I am meant for more in this life. I'm in a rut and I don't know how to get out of it, which many business owners are, many physicians are, doctors are, because the last 3 years have sucked for many people. The last 3 years have been wildly stressful, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, and we have no space for someone to be themselves. We have no space for someone to have a witness to their pain. And now more than ever, it is vital that we understand how we are thinking, how we are feeling, because if we want to take the next steps forward out of some super traumatic 3 years, if we want to manage our weight after the super traumatic 3 years, it is vital that you understand how your nervous system works and what is contributing to your fight or flight, what is contributing to your rest or digest. And let me tell you, screens, drugs, alcohol, food, pornography, money, all of these coping strategies work. They put you in fight or flight. They do not, they might make you feel more relaxed, but numb is different than peace. They might feel the same, but you wouldn't actually feel peace. It's way more satisfying than being numb. Because once you're numb, eventually you become unnumb and then the pain kicks in and then you got to keep using a coping strategy. You got to keep using the thing to numb out. It doesn't work. And then relationships can really, really go poorly. So, what I can offer is my experiences personally numbing out with work. It is so injurious to how you experience love, how you experience life, and then you get stuck in a rut. And so learning how to balance my nervous system has helped with my weight management. Learning how to balance your nervous system has helped with my relationships and my connections. And learning how to identify the thought patterns that contributed it in the last 4 years has transformed my career so much that I left. I left my career at the hospital because I knew I was meant for more. And I want to offer what I've been through in a scientific way. I can measure your thought patterns in a scientific way. It's free, it's online. I will debrief it for you. And then if you know you are meant for more and you're in a rut, take it. And it's free and easy. And I will walk you through it. And then there's ways to interact with me at my practice if you want to. I was just talking with someone yesterday and they were interested in group coaching. They have a group of entrepreneurs. It's his practice and he wants to give them an ability to take it to the next level. And I can do that too. I've done that before in the past. It was the summer of 2021. We had group coaching and it was phenomenal. You are meant to experience joy and creativity and connection, and you're not meant to be numbed out. And it is possible to manage your health and manage your weight in a different way than force and grime and hustle and push and ignoring how you feel. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was serving. And happy Wellness Wednesday. And reach out if you need anything. I'm going to share this to my page and have a fabulous weekend.